Welcome all my dear student of TYBC physics class. Today in this lecture we are going to see the another jumping statement, that is the go to statement. The go to statement is used to branch unconditionally, means without any condition. When we want to make a branch, at that time we are going to use go to statement. Hence the go to statement is used to branch unconditionally from one point to another point in the program. The go to statement is simply written like this: go to label. Okay. Go to label. Termination, lastly termination is there. There are two types of go to statement. First one is forward go to statement, and second one is backward go to statement. Forward go to statement. See the difference between these two along with example. First, forward go to statement. This can be written like this: go to is keyword, label, then colon. Remember that. Then there are few statements. Statement or statement, then label, and then statement. Say X. In this way, here is comma. This is the forward, because here if there are some statement before the go to label and after some few statement after go to label. When these statements are executed and after then go to label, this term is come here. When this term or when this jump statement encountered here, then these statements are skipped and simply control goes to label. What I say? And hence instead of backward, the control is always moving forward. So this is called forward statement. Then backward statements. Here label, colon, again statement. Say 1 or 2. Suppose there are few statements, then go to label. Here what happens? When these statements are executed and when we encountered go to label here, then after the execution of this statement, control simply goes to label and again take or again execute the part of that program. The go to required label, remember that, go to required label, and this label is used in order to identify the place where the branch is to be made. What I say? The go to label requires label in order to identify the place where the branch is to be made. The label may be any valid variable name. The label may be any valid variable name and must be followed by colon. That is this. Label must be followed by colon. The label is placed immediately before the statement where the control is to be transferred. At where we want to place the label? Label is placed immediately before the statement where the control is to be transferred. all the general purpose languages or all the general purpose programming languages contains goto statement. It will extensively used in basic language or Fortran language. Basic language, this is the type of programming language, basic language or Fortran. This is the abbreviation of formula translation. This language is useful in mathematics and physics, and goto statements will extensively used in this basic language and Fortran language. Most common applications of these goto statements are number one, branching. First application is branching. But how the branching is there? The branching around statement or the group of statement, thus bypassing the remainder of the loop during the current pass. What I say? Branching around statement or group of statement, thus bypassing the remainder of the loop during the current pass. Second one, jumping. When we want to jump conditionally or unconditionally from one place to another place or from one point to another point in the program, at that point jumping to the end of the loop under certain condition. Jumping completely out of the loop, that is terminating execution of the loop. These are the most common application of this jumping statement. But in C programming, these statement, goto statements are rarely used. Why rarely used? Why not frequently used? Because in C programming language, the branching around statement can be done by if-else statement. If-else statement. In C programming language, the branching around the statement can be done using if-else statement, whereas in basic and Fortran, this branching around statement is done by using goto statement. Second one, the jumping to goto can be carried out. The jumping to the loop, when we want to jump in the loop, then jumping, or when we want to jump from the loop, at that time jumping to the loop can be carried out by using continue statement. That means here backward. Instead of this we can use continue. When we use this statement, then control immediately transfer to the beginning of the loop and take the repetitive execution. And jumping out of the loop, when we want to jumping out of the loop, keep all the statement execution of, keep the execution of all the statements and jump out of the loop. At that time we used in C break statement. Therefore, jumping to the loop can be carried out by using continue statement, and jumping out of the loop can be done by break statement. Hence, use of goto statement is avoided as use of structural feature of break and continue statement. These two statements having the structural feature, and hence these two statements are frequently used rather than goto statement. Hence, use of goto statement is avoided as use of structural feature of break and continue statement are preferable than goto statement. Okay. Now, we are going to see a program, small program regarding this goto statement. See here the first program, main or has include, this is preprocessor, stdio.h. This is the standard input output header file, which is always in C library. And by using this statement, we bring the standard input header file in the main part of the program. So then main function. This is the body of main, starting by opening brasa, then double x and y. We are going to use two variables which are neither integer nor float, but this is the double. That means double capacity of float. For double capacity of integer, we using long integer, but here double capacity of, okay. Therefore, a double read. This is the label. I already told you that label is nothing but any valid variable name. Read. Then scan f, percentage, ampersand, f. Then there are two variables. Therefore, double percentage f ampersand or say only one variable. We are going to use only one variable, ampersand x. When user put the value through keyboard, then this statement, with the help of this statement, computer can read the memory location and value of that variable which is given by address operator x. Then if x is less than 0, and then go to read. See here. When we declare the variable, that is double variable, and when we encounter read label here, program read the value of x with the help of this statement, compare this value with 0. Is x is less than 0? If yes, then again go to read, and then y is equal to square root of x. And last one, print the value, that is printf percentage f, and here two value x and y, and percentage x and percentage y. For that, here x comma y, and then again go to read. In this way, we can use the go to statement. This program will evaluate the square root of series of number read from terminals, that is bottom. Okay. Sorry, this is not here. Due to unconditional go to statement at the end, there is no condition. This is unconditional go to statement which is at the terminal or at the end of the program. The control is transferred back to input, read once again. The program put computer in permanent loop, which is known as infinite loop. Such infinite steps should be avoided, and the change for this is made in the next program. And this next program is like that. Okay. See the next program. Again a program to find square root of positive number. Again here we can again include a file math.h, which is also a header file, which is include some important information regarding mathematical operations. This file is always in C library, And when we are going to use, or when we prepare a program for square root of or trigonometrical function, at that time we must have to bring this file math.h header file from the C library and put in the current path. Therefore main, then again here double x and y, same, then integer count is equal to 1. Here we already, here we are going to use again a counter variable which is of integer type, then printf enter 3 variable, enter 3 variable or say real number. Real numbers. This statement. Then read the number which is supplied by us by the computer by this label. Read. Then scan. Scanf. That is percentage f. Okay. What? That is x. Like the same statement used in previous program only. Then print every value on the new line. That's for this new operator is used. Again, if the given variable, that is x, is less than 0, then print, display this, print item, that is negative, item is negative, or what I say, item percentage d, that is count, is negative. We are going to display this on the screen. And what display, what is the, what we want to go to? Count. Are going to display this by statement count. Okay. If this is not, then remaining part here. Else. Here we are going to use if else. If this condition true, then execute this. When condition is false, then execute this. Again, here y is equal to square root. This is the keyword for square root of x. Then print, that is printf, print the file. What we are going to print? Here there are 2 number long double, therefore ld percentage ld x and y. Okay. Then count is equal to count plus plus, or count plus 1, simply 1, because we are going to enter various value, and in that supplied value 3 value must be positive numbers, and here we are going to find the square root of that positive number, not negative number. Okay. Now count, if again, if count is less than 3, count is less than or equal to 3. Okay. Then go to read. This execution repeat up to 3 times. When count is less than or equal to 3, then again go to label, read and execute once again. When condition is false, then rather than go to label, go to end of the statement. That is again here print. What? The result, that is end of program. End of program. Okay, in this way, we can study the go to statement, which is jumping statement. Now, the last jumping statement, that is the exit function. Fourth, the exit function. This is the last jumping statements. The exit, let me this. The exit, this causes immediate termination of the entire program. This is the main difference between break, continue and go to. Break temporarily terminate the loop and control remains in the program. But when we use this function, then this causes immediate termination of the entire program. And such a forced termination is required when error is detected by the program. This is very important. The exit causes entire termination, this exit causes immediate termination of the entire program, and this is called forced termination. And such forced termination is required when error is detected by the program. We know that the program execution is automatically terminated when the last statement in main function is executed. What I say? When the last function in the main function is executed, then the program execution is automatically terminated. But at some time we want to terminate the program forcefully. That is, but in order to explicitly terminate the program, then exit function is called in the program and entire program is terminated. Okay. The general form or syntax of this exit function is simply exit, this is keyword, then open brace, open parenthesis and close parenthesis, and then termination. This is the syntax. The integer, here n may or may not be used. But when n is used and when n is not used, see here, very important is this. Here the integer n is called exit status. What is n? N is called exit status. Exit status. The value is 0 for a program that terminates normally. When n is equal to 0, that means the program terminates normally, and when n is non-zero, that is 1, 2, n 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be, but when n value of n is non-zero for a program that program terminate due to some detected error condition. Okay, what I say? When n is equal to 0, then program terminate normally, and when value of n is non-zero for a program, that terminate due to some detected error. The exit is used when some mandatory condition for program execution is not satisfied. Suppose we write the program for something, and during the program if we feel that something is going on wrong, at that time we want to terminate that program and exit, we want to terminate that whole program entirely. At that time exit function is used, and when this exit function is used, when some mandatory condition from a program execution is not satisfied, we can write the exit function without n, like this. There is not necessary to write. When we does not write n, then it is supposed that the value of n is by default 0. When we not write the n in the parenthesis, then in such case the value of n is considered as a 0 by default. Okay. Now the comma operator. The comma operator, I think this is the second last point, the comma operator. Comma operator. When we use the comma operator is used primarily in conjunction for statement or in conjunction with for statement. We know for statement, for initialization, expression, then condition expression, then increment expression. We are familiar with this for expression. And in this for expression, the comma operator is used primarily in conjunction with for statement. This operator allows two different expression to appear in a situation where one expression would ordinarily be used. What I say? These operators, that is comma operators, allows two different expressions to appear in situation where one expression would ordinarily be used. See here the general form or syntax for statement, expression 1a, comma, expression 1b. This is the initialization. Here we can take one variable for initialization or more than one variable take for initialization. But when we want to take more than one variable for execution, at that time we must have to use the comma operator. This is the comma operator. And then remaining conditional, that is expression 2. Then last expression 3. This is the increment, this is the initialization, and this is the conditional expression, this is increment expression, this is initialization expression, and in this initialization expression, expression 1a and 1b are two initialization expressions separated by these comma operators. The two expressions would initialize two different indices, that is the plural form of indices. The two expressions would initialize two different indices that are used simultaneously within a loop. What I say? The two expressions would initialize two different indices that are used simultaneously within a loop. And now we are going to see the last point of this chapter number 2, that is C programming. And the last point is library function. Library functions. We already studied this point, or we already use library functions. And at the very beginning of this chapter, I already told you about this library function, but here specially we are going to give stress on this library function. Students, C programming language is accomplished or fulfilled by number of library functions, and that are specially placed in C library file. What I say? C programming language is accomplished or fulfilled by number of library functions that carry out various operations or calculations. Okay? In order to use library function in our program, it is necessary to include certain specific information within the main portion of the program. And this information is stored in special file which is supplied to computer. And this file is accomplished with preprocessor, that is has include. This is the preprocessor. We see this several times before this time. That is has include file name. File name. There is no termination after this statement. This is preprocessor. This is preprocessor, and this with the help of this preprocessor we bring the required file from C library and put on the current path. The special file for standard input output is, which is that std here stdio.h. We use this file number of times in our program. Such file is called header file. Such file is called header file. And this is mentioned by this h. .h extension means the type of this file is header file. Now math.h, this file is related to the information stdio.h. This file is regarding the information related to input and output, that is keyboard, monitor, printer, whatever it may be. And there is another file, that is math.h. This is another file. This file is used for operations regarding mathematics, or this file is one of such file used for mathematical operations, specifically when we are going to use the program for square root, when we are going to prepare a program for trigonometrical relation. At that time we must have include the math.h, this type of header file which is already placed in C library function, and we want to bring this file from C library and put on the current path. And this is done by like this, has include math.h. When we write in the beginning of at the beginning of program, then this statement bring the this math file which is already placed in C library and put in the current file. There is one more file. When we want to make operations on character or string, that is copy a string, compare a string, etc. Then at that time string.h, this is the string header file which is also in C library, and we have to bring this file from C library and put on the current path. And this is done by writing this statement, by writing a statement like this. Like this standard, like this stdio.h, math.h, string.h. There are number of such type of files, and we can use that file whenever necessary. Some functions returns data item to their access point. Other indicates where the condition is true or false by returning 1 or 0. Okay. In this way, we completed the second chapter of 5th paper, that is computational physics, and that second chapter is nothing but C programming. If we are having more time after completion of syllabus, then I will try to teach you, or I will try to explain the logic of more and more programs. Till then, we shall stop here. Have a good day.